James Hetfield's reflections on Cliff Burton and Jason Newsted come across less like a direct comparison of two bassists and more like two distinct chapters in Metallica's story, one marked by inspiration and loss, the other by survival and strain. When Hetfield speaks of Burton, his tone carries reverence, almost spiritual in nature. He often recalls Burton as a creative force whose adventurous bass work and willingness to push boundaries helped shape Metallica's identity in the formative years. Hetfield has admitted that Burton's spirit remains a guiding presence, noting that he sometimes still asks himself, would Cliff like this, when working on new material? To Hetfield, Burton is not only a memory, but also a silent collaborator, whose influence continues to steer the band's creative compass. Yet, that deep respect for Burton also created challenges. His sudden death in 1986 left Metallica devastated, and in that grief, the band unintentionally created impossible standards for anyone who would replace him. When Jason Newsted stepped into the role, he entered a group still mourning and still holding Burton in near mythic regard. Musically, Newsted proved himself quickly. Accounts from that period describe him as energetic, skilled, and committed. He helped keep the band steady during a fragile transition, but acceptance was complicated. Hetfield himself has acknowledged that Metallica did not make things easy for their new bassist. The dynamic became especially visible in the infamous mixing of And Justice for All, where Newsted's bass parts were almost inaudible. Whether a deliberate choice or a byproduct of studio decisions, the result symbolized how Newsted's contributions were undervalued, both by the band and in public perception. Hetfield has since admitted that this period revealed a harsher, less supportive side of Metallica's internal culture. In hindsight, Hetfield's words frame Burton and Newsted not as rivals, but as symbols of two eras. Burton represents a formative genius, someone whose creativity still casts a shadow over Metallica's choices decades later. Newsted, by contrast, embodies resilience and dedication, yet also the difficulty of being measured against a legend while working within a band still learning to process loss. Hetfield's reflections suggest a dual truth, an enduring reverence for Burton's legacy and a reluctant recognition that Newsted was never given the full respect he deserved. In the end, the story is less about comparing talent than about how grief, loyalty, and band dynamics shaped two very different paths within the same legacy.